I just showed you the Little House on the Prairie series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Hi everyone, it's Kimberly and I am bringing you today the Book Scavenger Hunt tag. This tag is originally by The Library of Sarah. It's a pretty old tag. It's from January 2013. I was tagged by Jay over at The Awkward Bookworm, and it was very, very sweet of her to tag me in this video. And I know I haven't been around on BookTube for a while, but I just saw that she had tagged me when I got back, and so I would love to do this video. Her video is great, and if you would like to watch it, I will link it down below. I'll also link the original video by The Library of Sarah as well. I have the list here of the things on the Book Scavenger Hunt. There are 19 items. And I don't know, I haven't thought of the books, so I'm gonna have to be searching around my room for books that match these 19 items on the list. Hopefully I can find them all, but I don't know, so we'll see. Before I get started, I just want to show you my bookshelves that I'll be searching around on. I don't know if you guys have seen them. Since my last video, I have another bookshelf, which is small, but I will show them to you. So here up there, there's the big bookshelf. Then there's another bookshelf here. Then behind me, down there, there's another bookshelf. And then over here is my new bookshelf. Then here's the one you can see behind me, all up there. Down here's another bookshelf of mine, and then over here on the far wall, this is my big bookshelf. Okay, so I have my thing set up again. Sorry, I know that was kind of shaky when I was showing you my different bookshelves, but I say let's get started. So, the first item on the list is find a book whose author has the letter Z in their name, and I know exactly which one I'm picking. I have La Sombra del Viento by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. His last name is Zafón with a Z. This is in English called The Shadow of the Wind. It is a book that some people have talked about on BookTube, but I'm reading it in Spanish because it was originally written in Spanish. And the first 2 pages are all I've read. I haven't really started it, but I just flipped in through the first 2 pages, and it was amazing already in the first 2 pages when I read it. I mentioned it, I think, in my June, or I think I might have mentioned it in my July TBR, but you know, that didn't happen. So anyway, this book is something that I'm really looking forward to reading. La Sombra del Viento, Zafón. The second item on the list is find a classic. So I will go over here. The second item is find a classic. So I have Vasari's The Lives of the Artists, which talks about various different artists, especially from Renaissance Italy, including Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Raphael, all of them. And I'm really enjoying this book. I'm about halfway through it. I read part of it for a class in school, and it's really good. Vasari, in case you guys didn't know, he was a contemporary of theirs from that time. So it's very interesting to read what he thinks of other artists that are around, generally more similar to his time. It's not written by someone from our present day, it's written by another artist around that time, and I find it fascinating. I think I'm going to stay standing over here. Hopefully you guys can see me, because I think I'm finding a lot of them over here. Number 3, a book with a key on it. I'm kind of nervous about this one. I knew it! Okay, I thought that if any book I had a key on it, because I couldn't think of one that obviously had a key, but I thought this one must have a key because it is the complete Sherlock Holmes. So I was looking and I thought for a minute that it actually didn't have a key, and I was about to be in shock and wondering if I actually had any book with a key on it. But there is a key, and I will show it to you once I find it again. I I found it and it is there, I promise. No. See, look, everything is, there's all these little pictures worked into here, and I know I saw a key. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. There's more than one key. But there is a key right there. I'm pretty sure there's another, but it didn't say it had to have more than one key, so haha, there's one. A tiny, tiny one, but it is there. Alright. Item 4 is something on your bookshelf that is not a book. Alright. This is a panda teddy bear on a rocking chair. This belonged to my great-grandmother and I used to play with it when I was little. So yes, this is on my bookshelf. This is not a book. Alright, number 5 is the oldest book on your bookshelf. I'm pretty sure that in my house I have other books that are older than this, and I own books that are older than this, but I'm just going to show you guys the books that are the oldest books that I can remember owning, which are from when I was little. They are the Little House on the Prairie books. I'm not going to take them down from their shelf there, but that is the box set of the Little House on the Prairie, and those books I had when I was very little. Sorry for the shakiness, I don't have a tripod, but I'm gonna put you back down now. I just showed you the Little House on the Prairie books by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I've had those for as long as I can remember when I was very little, so those are one of the oldest books on my shelf. I have older books that are physically older, but in terms of in my possession, I think those are some of the oldest, so yes, I showed you those. Number 6 is a book with a girl on the cover. Actually, I know exactly which one I want to pick. I choose... Okay, a book with a girl on the cover. I've chosen Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. There is a girl on the cover, Yelena, she's the main character. This book is one of my favorite trilogies. It's from the Study trilogy by Maria V. Snyder. This trilogy follows a kick-ass female heroine in fantasy series, and anyone who watches my channel will know that that is my favorite type of book. So I read a lot of fantasy with kick-ass females in it, even though historically as a genre there aren't that many of those, but it's been getting a lot better. Anyway, Poison Study, Yelena is on the cover. Find a book with an animal on it. Okay. I know which one I'm picking, just because it's the first one that I saw. This is My Side of the Mountain by Jean Craighead George. This is a little book that I read when I was younger, and I really, really enjoyed it when I was little. I read it quite a few times. It is about a boy who runs away and goes and lives in the wild. He lives in this hollowed out tree, and he has this peregrine falcon named Frightful. So he trains her to hunt for him. So Frightful is on the cover of My Side of the Mountain, so there's an animal. A book with a male protagonist. So a book with a male protagonist, other than the book I just showed, the first thing I think of is Harry Potter, but of course I'm not going to show that because I have to be more creative. I guess I'm not being too creative. This book is Aragon, and the protagonist is Aragon. He's a guy, so yes. There's a male protagonist in this book. It's about dragons. I'm not going to get into it too much, but it's an awesome book. You should read it. Alright, a book with only words on the cover. I can definitely do this one. Alright, J.S. Mill on Liberty and Other Writings. He's a famous philosopher from more recent times, and I read the first couple of chapters of this for my medical ethics class, and I really enjoyed what I read of it, and I'm excited to read the rest. So yes, only words, because it is one of those Cambridge texts in the history of political thought editions that there are so many of in the curriculum at my university. Number 10 is find a book with illustrations in it, and I know just which one to pick. I am choosing Aesop's Illustrated Fables. I got this for my birthday. It is one of the Barnes & Noble Leather-Bound Classics editions, and it is absolutely beautiful, but it also has gorgeous illustrations in it. So it has some smaller illustrations like that. It also has a lot of these beautiful, beautiful engravings. It has just so many gorgeous pictures. See, it has these beautiful engravings, then it has other illustrations, illustrated like that. Aesop's Fables, gorgeous illustrations inside, and that is my book with illustrations in it. A book with gold lettering. I can do that. Graceling by Kristen Cashore. Gold lettering here, sorry you can't see, here and here. Another fantasy with a kick-ass female protagonist. You know I love those, so yes, Graceling. If you haven't read this, definitely check it out. The next item is Find a Diary, True or Fictional. So, one moment. I'm looking at this shelf over here that you can't see. Alright, well, I'm kind of almost feel like I'm cheating on this because it's really obvious, but I found a book from when I was little that I will share with you. This book is Across the Wide and Lonesome Prairie, The Oregon Trail Diary of Hattie Campbell, 1847. It's one of those Dear America books. I don't know if you guys read those when you were little, but it's just a little fictional diary of a girl who was on the Oregon Trail, and I have a couple of these from when I was little. Oh gosh, dust. Well, I haven't read this in a long time, but anyway, find a book written by someone with a common name like Smith. Alright? Got it already. The Alchemist by Michael Scott. Young adult fantasy, it's fun. There's mythology woven in, a lot of mythology from different traditions, which I think is really cool. And it's a very fun book. Michael Scott. Scott's a very common name. There you go. Number 14. Find a book with a close-up on it. Alright. This one's hard. I don't know if I have any books with close-ups. Yes, I do! I have a book with a close-up on it. This is great. Oh my gosh. This is so funny. So, I finally found a book with a close-up on it. I honestly did not think I had one, but then I thought of something sneaky, so this is an extreme close-up. That is the protein structure of some sort of protein. This is my biochemistry book. I bet of all the videos that anyone has ever made, that's the closest close-up that has ended up on the tag for the book scavenger hunt. And I almost thought I didn't have one, but yes, there. Protein structure, definitely a close-up. Alright, I'm gonna go put this thing back. I could knock someone out with this. It's enormously heavy. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, biochem. Number 15. Find a book on your shelf that takes place in the earliest time period. Alright then, I can do that. Okay, over here are my classical classics, etc. The Iliad. I'd say this is the earliest time period book that I have. Still haven't read it. I really want to read it. It's kind of ridiculous for someone as obsessed with mythology as me that I have not read the Iliad. It is one of my greatest shames, and I will be reading it soon. Find a hardcover book without its jacket. I don't know if I have any hardcover books that don't have their jacket on it unless it is one of my Barnes & Noble Leather-Bound Classics editions, which don't have a jacket to start with, but I will look. Alright, this might be cheating, but at least I didn't use one of my Barnes & Noble Leather-Bound Classics editions. This book is Neuromancer by William Gibson. I haven't read this yet, but I'm really looking forward to reading it. It is a sci-fi book, and it is supposed to be the seminal work of the subgenre of cyberpunk. So basically it has a lot of hacking and futuristic things in it, and I am really looking forward to reading this. I haven't read it yet. It doesn't have a jacket. It didn't come with a jacket. Probably I'm supposed to be finding a book of mine with no jacket that had a jacket, but as OCD as I am about my books, I do not have any books without jackets that did have jackets to start with. So, yeah, no romancer. Number 17, find a teal or turquoise book. The book I'm choosing, everyone probably chose it. Still haven't read it. Still haven't. Why haven't I read it? Yeah, not even gonna describe. You guys know what book this is. It's turquoise. There we go. Getting closer to the end. Number 18, find a book with stars on this, and I saw one of these when I was looking for another item on the list. Oh, this is gonna be impossible to put back together. Okay. Marcel Mauss, A General Theory of Magic. This book I read for a class in school, and it's really, really interesting. It's an anthropology book studying different beliefs about magic from different cultures, and it's really good. I wrote a 20-page paper, and this was one of my sources, and it has stars on it. Alright, the last one is a non-YA book. I know I've had quite a few of these in this hunt so far, but I will find a different one that I haven't shown you yet. I have so many over here, and I'm trying to find one that I've never mentioned in any of my videos. I've chosen Popol. This is a translation of El Popol Vuh, which is the Mayan Book of Time from Guatemala, and I got this book when I was in Guatemala because the people at my language school are the ones who worked on this translation, which is supposed to be one of the most accurate translations, so I got it and I've read some of it. It's really, really interesting. They have this whole belief about the pyramid and different things in it. It says Poema Mítico Histórico Quiché. So basically the Quiché people in this region, it's super cool because it has the translation. You can see here the Quiché. Here's the actual Quiché. This is the phonological Quiché, and this is in Spanish. So basically it has it in Quiché with Quiché letters. It has it in Quiché written without Quiché letters. It has it in Spanish in the direct translation, word for word, and then it has Spanish in the figurative translation, basically like it has the word for word translation and then the more accurate meaning-wise translation in these two columns. So yes, El Popol Vuh, the Mayan Book of Time, is very, very interesting. I haven't read the whole thing, but it's really cool. And I love mythology, and I also love anything to do with the region of Guatemala and that area around there because, of course, I lived there for a couple months and I really, really think the culture is incredibly interesting, and I have some good friends from there now from living there. So anyway, yes. So yeah, that's my non-YA book. There's a lot of them over there. So yes, that is it. Those are all the items on the book scavenger hunt. So thank you guys for bearing with me, and I am happy to say that I found every single one of them, even though I wasn't sure that I would. I will tag some people to do this video. I know that it has been around for over a year and a half, so I will tag down below whoever has not done it that I want to tag. So anyway, thank you guys for bearing with me through that whole time. Bye!